Okay, I see you. Got a little special occasion coming up. What, you got a new date? You going to a wedding? You got a photo shoot? Maybe a new job interview? Well, you want that beard looking right. You want it crispy, you want it lined up, just that best overall look. And sometimes the easiest way to do that is to do a little transparency kind of cleanup trim. I hear you, nothing wrong with that at all. I do the same thing. But I do have two things that I want you guys to consider, and I'm going to go over more details. Do not rush or force it. Now, I'm going to give you some additional facts, some additional perspective on those that I think could really help this decision and, more importantly, the planning for you. But first, I'd like to welcome you guys. Thank you for clicking on this video and checking it out today. My name is Dan C. Bearded, and I would love if you considered subscribing to this channel if you like beards and you're not already subscribed. And then also, it'd mean a lot to me if everybody watching right now could just simply hit a thumbs up. All right, don't force it, don't rush it. What do I mean by that? The best beard trims happen when you're in the right state of mind. Your beard is feeling good, your beard is looking good, you want to trim from that state. Let's say that you have a wedding on Friday and you're like, you know what, I'm going to trim my beard on Thursday, so it's the best yet. I don't recommend leaving that little of wiggle room, because what if you're having a bad beard day on Thursday? What if your schedule gets away from you and there's not enough time? What if you're just not feeling it? It's stressed. Maybe you're not feeling well internally and your beard is reflecting that. You're leaving yourself a really bad spot. You're either not going to get the trim that you wanted because you're not going to force it, or you're going to force it and you're going to mess it up. My advice is give yourself that wiggle room. Say, hey, I got a wedding on Friday, maybe next Friday. I'm going to chunk off about 4 or 5 days where I'm going to do a trim in that time period. I would even say never even plan on doing it within 3 days of the event or the occasion. Why? I recommend 3-day trims. Go in that first day, line up your trim, do exactly what you want. The next day, shower, style, go through your normal routine, and likely some hairs that were looking perfect the day before are going to settle and kind of poke out, and you're going to adjust that next day. Then the third day, maybe touch up that mustache, the cheek line, the sides, whatever you need to do. Leave yourself enough room for at least a 3-day trim, and leave yourself enough room to say, you know what, today's not the right day to start it. I'm going to do that tomorrow. The only time I have ever had a bad trim was probably 2.5 years ago. I did not leave myself enough time. I had my mindset. I am trimming my beard tonight. I wasn't in a good mindset. I was a little bit rushed. I was a little bit stressed, and it didn't go well. I'll never forget, I did a line that I didn't like, and my stomach fell through the ground. It's crazy to kind of explain to somebody else, but I was absolutely sick to my stomach, to the point where it took me a very long time to kind of get myself together, to compose myself. I was supposed to be going on a dinner date with my beautiful wife, Sam C, and she's like, hey, what are you doing? You don't normally take long to get ready. What's going on? I was like, I need a minute. I wasn't rude. I wasn't hard. I was just like firm, abrupt. I need a minute. And again, I had that pit in my stomach. So give yourself that amount of wiggle room. Now, what do I mean by don't force it, right? We got the time, that's the not rush it. Don't force it means don't do anything that you don't think is going to be good in the long run. You are your own worst critic. Remember that. When you go to that wedding, when you go to that new first date, whatever it is, you're likely seeing things that nobody else is, and it's not worth doing something drastic or doing something that you regret. For me, the shortest my beard has been in the last 14 years was on my wedding day. Not because Sam C requested it, not because I had pressure from family members. I don't listen to any of that stuff. That stuff doesn't faze me. But in my mind, I was like, you know what? These pictures are going to be forever. Let me go ahead and do what is traditional. I highly regret that. I do not like my wedding pictures whatsoever. It was dang near a stubble beard. I didn't shave or anything like that, but I went down really low, and it was because I forced it mentally. If I could go back and do it again, I would have not done that whatsoever, right? That was probably a situation where I didn't leave enough time, and I forced a trim that I did not want to do. So don't make a big change just because you think it fits a societal norm. Don't do it because you think it's what an interviewee wants, or a job, or the person you're going on a date with. Do what's right for you, and then let the chips fall where they may, right? You don't need to change your appearance to try and fit into somewhere that you don't belong. That's kind of just, for me, something that really sank in, on that one. Don't force it, don't rush it. Now, speaking of not rushing it, let me collect my thoughts for 2 seconds and come back to you guys for a conclusion. To wrap this up, I know this is not the most revolutionary concept in the world. I'm not showing you some new demonstration method that's going to change the whole trajectory of your daily beard routine. But I do believe that this will help someone or many people that are watching right now. And that's all that matters to me, because I can see you're planning. I have a wedding next Friday. I'm going to trim on Thursday. If I can just put that seed of planning, extending that range out, extending that thought to not force it, to not conform to what you think is a societal norm, my job is checked off. I am very, very happy with the outcome of this video because I know that's how many of you would plan it. I know that situation happens. Why? Because I've been there and I've heard countless times of others that have been as well. If you're watching right now and you have any experience with this, good or bad, please leave a comment down below. Did you force something and you regret it? Did you try to squeeze it in a time period and you didn't leave yourself enough wiggle room and you regret it? Or are you someone that's like, no, I learned a 3-day trim. I've stuck with that. I've really been appreciative and really feel good about that whole system of when to trim and not forcing the time frame. Let us know down below with your thoughts, your experiences, and then especially, do you guys have any questions on this? Do you have any additional tips that you would give in this situation specifically, right? We're not just talking about a beard trim. We're talking about you have a special occasion coming up that you want to trim specifically for. What's another thought that I missed? What's another tip that you could add on here? I would love to make it rain. Comments down below this video. If you don't know what I'm talking about, when you're watching right now, whether it's on your phone, your computer, you should see below the video, if you scroll down, a little box that says comments with a number next to it, and it'll give you a spot to write it. Click that to add your comment or to read the other ones. And if a comment sticks out to you, hit a thumbs up on their comment so it can move up the rankings and people can see that one easier. Thank you guys for watching today. Dan C. Bearded. Stay bearded and stay positive.